Lives Matter protests usually start near west side of the map near Blackbridge Hospital and march down 12th Avenue to North Lincoln and then turn north on North Lincoln and finish at Harmony Tech Plaza. So they would go up to 11th Avenue and then turn left and then rally, but they march and then rally.
So we expect them to start near the Blackbridge Hospital.
Yeah, someone will end up there sooner or later.
How tall is Blackbridge Hospital?
Yeah, it's a major hospital. There's two buildings, two parts of it. On either side of Moore Drive there. They're 4-story buildings. Is the biggest hospital in Capital City.
Just my powers lend to how tall things are. It tends to become important. I wanted to get one other thing while we were running around. I wanted to stop at basically an auto parts store. And I want about 10 feet. I want around 30 feet of the heaviest chain I can get my hands on.
Okay, 30 feet of all the chain you want. I don't think that's a problem.
Particularly manly, I want to tow around my F-350 chain. And it has to be metal, obviously. And I'm going to put it on top of the roof of the hospital.
Okay.
My plan, my teammate, obviously you'll need to know too, but this is my chance, the chance for my teammate to talk me out of it. My plan is to just join in the rally so I'm close to them if they need me. I'm mobile, but not as mobile as you are. I feel that my shock and awe technique will be best used between two groups.
So my thought is, because it's a BLM rally and you're a really white guy, that rather than be in the group of protesters, you'll be in that front rank of spectators. You're just going to be really obvious if you try and stand in a BLM group.
But I sort of want to be.
Okay.
For political reasons. One is I honestly think that they're right, and I want to be there to support them. And the other is, barring that.
If you're marching with the protesters, there's
they give you a wide berth.
Yeah, there's like this little donut around you. People don't even notice that they're like really comfortable with you.
I'm in one of my great classic boiler suits and a different baseball hat in a different boiler suit because these things are cheap to pick up at the store. It is just so the everyman outfit in the northern city, you know? I want to be back a ways because in the same way he wants to stand in the thick of it, I want Overwatch. I want to see if there's snipers coming or, you know, some giant with caustic hands wading his way through an apartment building. I want to be in the distance to see.
When you say you want to be a distance to see, can you be more precise, please?
So Blackbridge Hospital is on both sides of the street.
Yes.
And I don't know if I want to be on either one of those hospitals or if there's a convenient cell tower. As long as there's big metal structures, it's really convenient for me to travel easily. So if I can get up on top of a 4-story building as a nice example, or
the procession is heading east on 12th Avenue, and they would eventually be turning and going north on North Lincoln Street.
Oh, they're heading north on North Lincoln. So there's a very tight angled corner on 12th and North Lincoln.
Yep.
And including some small buildings there, I know it's a little less defined. I want to get closer to that corner. Also, if you have your book handy, we're likely to be on page 147.
Get rid of that. That's that. Storage. Downtown storage.
Can I get 3 stories, 4 stories up on that corner, something like that?
Yeah. Yep. 3 stories. The storage unit has like a glass front that looks on 12th and North.
Okay.
That shows, so it's lighted and it's a fancy one, and see rows of narrow storage units. The metal flashing on the edges. The roof is that like vinyl with gravel on the top, drains to the edges. There's news vans. There's a police presence. There's a police presence on 11th Avenue.
Did you say priest presence?
Police,
excuse me.
Yeah.
I heard priest too, if it makes you feel any better. I mean, they're more than welcome, but...
I'm watching for skinheads. I'm watching for the Nazi group, and I'm also watching for the Nubians to see if I see specific gang presence or tactics, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's something I do want to bring up. Remember, I think we're going to have to look out for Mom and Pa Kent more than I'm comfortable looking out for. Just beware.
Bug, my friend, we save who we can, we do what we can. And to things we can't do, we have to be okay with the fact that we have our limits.
I know, I'm just not happy about it.
Make a perception roll, Metal.
Roll of an 8. Intelligence is 5. Will is 5. I've made some of the worst rolls since starting this character. This is a fun character. I'm rolling so awful. Just completely obliviously
It's
missed
either a
whatever it
9
was.
or 11. Either one, you missed it. You are unable to spot anything except, a crowd of protesters parading down. Let's say there's some cops at that North Lincoln intersection where they turn north, and they are just south of the intersection. And at the 11th Avenue North, where North Lincoln and 11th Avenue connect, the police are there as well, and they've got street barricades. Tonight, no one's going to Harmony Tech Plaza. I haven't decided why that's a popular rallying spot for Antifa. That's where they end up. I haven't figured that out. After they're getting close to that intersection, the streets are the usual, parked cars, vans, things like that. The police move up from the south and basically stop up and bottleneck that section of North Lincoln between 11th and 12th Avenue. A bunch of civil guard with all their obnoxious and awful paraphernalia and the signs that they like to wave, and all in their, their camo and their tactical gear, and they are moving from the side, and they're now on the side of the streets, antagonizing protesters. There's hundreds of people. You can see on your your left and your right the people in the parade and the civil guards on the sides of the streets. They're yelling and antagonizing each other, but the procession has stopped.
I want to be not in the middle, but more close to the edge, so I have more options.
You step up onto the sidewalk. Say that again, Andy, if you would.
Deliberately said I was in the middle, and I'm trying to say I'm not in the middle. I'm kind of towards either side, towards the edge of the march, or I'm not the front, because obviously they don't know what my pasty white ass in the front. I get that.
Yeah.
But somewhere to the side where I can move, I get more options, tactically speaking.
You see where you are on your side of the street, a van open its sliding door, and Nubians getting out of it, armed.
I will do my best to make eye contact with them, because some of these guys know me. I mean, they don't like me because we did have a confrontation last night, but I just want to make like a rethink your next move carefully kind of eye contact.
Yep.
It won't stop them, but I've always got to give people a chance to make the smart play instead of the play that gets my fist in their face.
Make I'll call it a perception roll. See if you spot someone they spot you. I don't think they know your powers. They just don't like you.
But I'm not shy about using them either. So they definitely see me, know me, but I also don't hide my abilities at all. But that was a crit. That was 5. So no. I even am less aware than he is.
They get out, and they are moving to the guard on their side, and that's when the first shot rings out from up above, and then the Nubians didn't see where the shot came from. It came from above. They immediately moved towards the closest civil guard with their guns, and they're pulling them out, and they're going to start shooting. Now there's screaming going on because a gunshot went off.
Is it initiative time, or?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Or you can tell me. Well, no one. Give me your first reactions. Both
the Nubians and the civil guard have drawn weapons.
Nubians came out on the street with handguns. The civil guard on the street have their open carry. They're carrying a variety of handguns on their belt and their AR whatevers that they made at home.
I'm going to try and crack open a hydrant and spray down the rush of Nubians so that they're being hit by a high-pressure hose, essentially.
Let's see what you got.
Magnetic control is 8. Roll of an 11.
not any column shifts, so let's get a result. See how many of them you blow down the road.
So it's going to be my effect value of 8 against their strength, I guess. Or I guess the effect value would be the water. Because all
Yep.
I'm doing is setting it off. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, and there's 13 of them. So what is the effect value of a hose? I don't know. We'll put it in the 5 to 6 column.
Yeah, I don't mean to coach at you about about running the game. If you got all your stuff down, that's completely cool.
I don't.
Okay.
This is the third time we're playing. I get the concept.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of in a softer space right now about.
But I do have combat maneuvers.
Yep. Excellent.
Quickly flip. This should be some type of efficient, I would think. But yeah, give me a result, and there's 13 of them.
So let's see. So I'm looking at my own results chart, right? Let's see. Look at all your maps up. I'm having fun with your maps. They're going to have a strength. The standard human is strength 2 or 3.
Yes.
Right. So my result is going to be.
It's going to be 2.
So no column shifts. My effect value is 5, 6. They have a strength of 2. Each of them is going to be blown 3 APs in distance.
I'm actually using this as the number of people that are blown from the group down and taken out of action by the force of the force of the water. Bug, what's your first thing that you're going to do?
I am going to rhino beetle it up. So I am going to jump that curb and charge at the other side. You got the Nubians, I'll get the other guys. I'm basically just doing mechanically, it's going to be a multi-attack. What I'm doing is I'm just charging at them and trying to just bulldozer into as many of them as I can.
They're going to see that, so let's roll some initiative.
They're supposed to see that. That's kind of the point.
So, initiative.
I think I have the highest initiative until the sewer freaks start coming out. So I want to do a multi-attack against 3. I want to take one of these civil guard guys that's drawn a gun. I want to take the gun out of his hand, hit him in the head with it, and go down a line of. So this gives me, because I'm attacking 4 people, 2 columns against me. Roll of a 9, acting value of 8. That might have been too much. Yeah, I've just been rolling such junk.
5 or better to hit.
Yep, and I rolled a 9.
You rolled a 9.
And I have 2 columns against me. Oh, so I barely hit. I got it.
Yeah, you hit. Not by bunches, but you did hit.
I'm going to roll for how many civil guard are on this side of the street. There's 17 of them. And so the gun ripping out of the guy's hands, he gets hit in the chin, cracked in the chin, and he goes down. And then the rifle spins into 2 others. Damn it, what's wrong? Banging their ARs and they're not firing. A couple of them throw them down, and they're going.
That is so satisfying. There aren't words for how satisfying that is.
Pull out his sidearm, an elevated shot somewhere, and his head goes. Black Lives Matter protesters are running north and south trying to escape the scene, and you see that there's more Nubians there, and they're getting out of their vans and pulling out their handguns because they didn't listen to you, Metal. They brought their handguns.
We actually talked about that. We actually planned for that, believe it or not. We didn't expect them to listen, but we wanted to give them the chance.
At this time, you can hear some handgun fire going off on the other side of the street.
Bug would have his head tank, because these guys, lost around switching guns? You were doing like a ram attack, weren't you?
Yeah. I was honestly trying to get people to shoot me instead of, people who are less bulletproof.
And I just cost them their first attack with the whole stun from last time where no one got the ARs to file, so you should basically get a freebie off.
I had initiative anyway. I should have gone before they did anyway.
You get to go. I'm just describing sights and sounds.
I am going to do a very similar maneuver. I'm going for the front 4 people who have guns out, and I'm going to run them down. All right, this is my concept, just to let you know. I'm using the Rhino Beetle, so basically I'm using that to pump up my strength and give me a little bit of body armor. To just make me a little bit tougher and stronger. Literally does nothing for my movement.
Hundreds of roaches are crawling out of the drains, the sidewalk drains, and coming towards you, and they're like all around your legs.
I got a 19. It was almost double tens, but it abandoned me at the last moment. I will put up with a 19. I've got an effect value of 8-8. Oh, 7-8, sorry.
Acting as 7, effective 8.
Acting 7,
Okay.
because I don't use their speed. I always use my dex because I got a really killer dex. I'd be hard pressed to, with a very few exceptions, I'm better off with my dex.
Well, the results table has this nice column where everything is A's. That's where you want to get to.
Yep, and I'm willing to bet I get there. So I start with they're at 2s, right? So I need a 5. I shift to the 5 column, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 shifts past that.
But then you
So,
gotta shift
yeah.
the other way because you're attacking so many, right?
Well, yeah, I already shifted.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I got 19, all right? 19's not a nothing roll.
So you go running in there like a bowling ball into bowling pins?
Run in there, when I reach them, I put out my arm so I can...
14 of those civil guard guys are all, bam, knocked off their feet, thrown around. You get the results you want. Looks like 9 of them
Nice.
got knocked unconscious. And there's
And
more
then-
gunfire. There's actually also near you on the sidewalk, a little farther north, is a horse-drawn carriage that is unoccupied, and the horse is freaking out now and starts going north, running over people, dragging the little 2-seater carriage behind it. Some civil guard on the other side of the street shooting their handguns upwards, and it looks like they are taking fire from across the street from one of the building's roofs.
I'm gonna try and find that sniper. I don't know if my elevation helps at all.
It's going to be a perception roll.
So I don't know if as an automatic action I can set down one of those GoPros and get it recording what's going on.
Okay. Let's get some GoPro action going on it.
A reasonable roll of 13. Intelligence of 5, will of 5. Right, perception check.
You were able to catch a muzzle flash, so you know which roof building on the
So I'm
top.
higher up. Can I see the guy on the roof, or is he in the
Oh,
building?
you're not even on the ground?
I'm four stories in the air, man. I can't take the kind of punching Bud can take.
Oh, okay.
No, you can't. Please, don't come down here.
Anything I can handle from a distance, I'm gonna.
I'm purposely waving my hand, say shoot at me rather than anybody else. And you're purposely trying to be one of those anybody else's.
You don't see the person on the roof
Okay.
that would have been shooting. There's a lot of air handling equipment, antennae, there's even cell towers. You don't, so the person, if they're on that roof shooting, they have got themselves some cover. So you don't immediately see them.
I'm going to go up and pick up some distance, and I'll fly over as much as I need to, but I want to see if a bird's eye view is going to give me a decent distance so I can throw some stuff at him, right? Like, you know what I mean? So if the sniper is between air conditioners, if I'm looking directly down, I should be able to see him.
Well, his gun's likely mostly metal.
Well, I love me some air conditioners, but
Yeah, actually, when you get up towards the roof, it's not that hard to spot because the person's in, looks like red body armor, and they see you coming, and so they put their sniper rifle up on the air handling and they're drawing a bead on you.
okay, are we rolling initiative? What are we doing?
And we're rolling initiative, yeah.
Except for your 2 guys in the sewer, I have the highest initiative in this setting, which is a nice to have.
Well, our NPC is burning enough 10. They're burning 10 hero points to get the drop on you.
That's a lot, yeah. So this guy gets a shot off at me?
It's going to have an acting value of 8.
My opposing is also 8 because I'm moving at a good clip. I'm going to spend 3 points on my opposing. So I'm at 11.
8 to 11. They need
Yep.
to get a 15 or better. 10.
Cool.
High velocity round goes by you.
And this guy's holding a rifle up, right?
Yeah,
Not literally through his chest. I'm not trying to murder the man. I am trying to hit the guy in the body armor hard enough that essentially he's going to stop protesting.
burning 4 hero points. Her dex is going up to 7.
Okay.
And you're 11, so you need a 7 or better?
So I spent my hero points on opposing last time. Those are burned.
Mhm.
So now I'm an 8 and an 8 to attack.
Oh, okay. So 11 or better.
I have just rolled the double ones and fumbled. So it was a physical attack with the rifle. I wanted to wham her in the chest with her own gun, and I fumbled.
The person drops out of sight. The shooter disappeared on you, just dropped down before you were able to do your thing. Like, wow, that was quick.
So there's what? Big industrial air conditioning gear? To take the air conditioning gear and make ominous creaking noises with it like it's all going to collapse to try and flush out the gunman.
No one flushes out.
I disappear back into the crowd. I don't want the direct confrontation.
An Uber driver who's just panicked and is pulled out of its parking spot and is driving through the crowd north. People are scattering out of the way. It's going right at the cops.
Oh, God.
At their end of the street, they're pulling out guns at the scared Uber driver, but he's too panicked. He's just driving like, ah! And so he's either going to get shot to death or crash into the police or both. Would you like to intervene at all or just let it fly?
Well, I kind of got to intervene with the multiple murders that are about to happen there. But before I leave, I've smashed through the civil guard guys here. I think I've made my point to them. And then I will make my eye contact with Nubians and kind of like, think your next step. I'm not saying anything, but I give them a think your next step carefully look to them. And then I'm going to jump in front of the truck. In front of the runaway car.
They stop, they look at you, they see all the civil guards that you took out. It seems like they're intending to cross the street to the other side.
One disaster at a moment.
So you were going to put yourself between
the cops and the car. Okay. I'm going to do the Superman, like, and like brace it and try to stop the car. Great. Right now, I'm strong enough to do it.
Our acting value of a speeding Toyota Celica. Let's say he's got it up to 50 miles an hour.
50 miles an hour. 1 second, I'm checking that. So that's 5 APs.
And how did you figure that out?
I long ago calculated speed for miles per hour on my tables. So I have a table with miles per hour listed by speed.
So you said it's an effect value of 5. Acting value of 5.
He has an acting value of 5 at that speed. The effect value of a Toyota at that speed is going to be based on it's going to be, what do you call the size of that? 7 APs?
It's 6.
6, okay.
It's 6.
So being hit by a car going that fast, that's an acting of 5, effective 6.
It doesn't have to make an attack. You don't have to make an attack. It's just plowing into you, Andy. Bug. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's literally what I want to happen. I'm kind of braced so it hits me rather than it's attacking me, and it gets the free shot.
I rolled a 7 and a 9, so that's a 16.
Oh, that's
the 5 column. What's your opposing value?
My opposing value? I have to argue it's 7. Okay. I mean, because, all right, here's my thought. I'm standing there trying to be hit, but I'm still using my dex to try to get hit in the best possible way. So I still think I get my 7.
That's how that works.
I do want to get hit. So technically, does that make me a 0? But I don't want to get hit that hard.
No, you're not standing there with your chin out. You're bracing the vehicle, right?
So they get 1 column shift.
So I have my body of 8 and the 4 armor, so a 12. If he flies out, I'll try to catch him, but I can only do what I can do. Hope that the bag goes off properly. I'm trying to do the greater good here, and the greater good is stopping the car. The problem is that greater good doesn't mean everybody gets out okay.
There's an airbag. So we'll let this poor bastard just be saved by his airbag and not killed. But the police actually throw tear gas and open fire.
But I actually have jeans and a white T-shirt, but with a homemade BLM kind of thing on it. I took a marker and did it, and I've got tennis they're like deck shoes, so which is horrible for walking in, but great for what I need them for. But
okay, so I just wanted the back of your shirt is a little torn up.
Probably very torn up. I mean, the front when I ran into people and stopped the car, the back when I got the bullet holes.
Yeah,
my shoes are probably
windshield wiper fluid, radiator fluid all over you.
My shoes are shredded from when I actually stopped the car. I look a mess, which is actually how I want Bug to look like most of the time.
Metal, what would you like to do?
I want to get Bug's attention.
Are you in the air?
He is just in the middle of all the destruction. So you know what? I'm going to abandon the sniper on the roof, and I'm going to go down and address the police flying above their heads. I'm going to spend 3 points on influence, which is going to give me one hell of a speaking power. So this will give me an influence of 9 and an aura of 4 for the move I'm about to do.
What are you doing?
I'm going to speak to the police.
What are you gonna say?
Please stop shooting my friend.
I'm going to say, gentlemen, we are all here to protect and serve, and I don't believe that involves gunfire. If you look, there is a group of Nubians with their guns and a group of civil guard there, and a lot of people that need your help. I know why I'm here. Do you know why you're here? Total of 11. Acting value of 9, effect value of 4. Just to be convincing.
I'm convinced.
So you need to get it a 4 or better. Okay.
Good.
They stop looking down on the street
Yep.
and looking for people to shoot at and
Yep.
throw tear gas at. They look at you and I guess whoever's in the lead goes, "It's one of those EEs, man. Be careful, everybody. Step back. We got to find out who this person is affiliated with." And he's getting on his radio. He's calling in 912-543 blah blah blah, and hence entities on the scene. Are we expecting? And he starts doing this while he's on the radio, and he starts telling his guys to move back for safety concerns.
Crap.
Oh, no, that could have been a lot worse, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Of our situations, having them not, I think that's a win. Maybe
so
not.
they stopped engaging, and they're backing up some cars, and they're moving back.
Maybe
and
not the slam dunk
just
we
observing.
wanted, but
Now just observing. Now that you've saved lives,
I will. Now that I'm on the other side of the street, because that's where the car kind of was, or the car was more in the street, so now it's easy for me to go to the other side of the street. I'm going to do the exact same bulldozer trick, and I will run through whoever's first. Like if the Nubians are first, then I'll run through them. If the civil guard are first, I'll run through them, because next round I'm going to run through the other group, so it doesn't really matter which one I run through first.
There is the first you're coming up to is a gang of civil guard, and
I feel better
they're
punching
in,
them than the Nubians. I won't lie.
They're behind a van shooting handguns at Nubians that are behind some parked cars on the same side of the street, and they're exchanging gunfire. And you can see that there's a few people have been then hit in the middle of the street, look like just protesters, and they're lying there bleeding. There's 3 civil guards, 2 on one side, 1 on the sidewalk side, taking partial cover from the van, shooting downstream.
Okay, then what I want to do is change that slightly. Can I make the van one of my multi-targets?
Yes.
My goal is to run through the 3, and then when I get to the van, instead of just crashing through it, I kind of want to lift it up so I can hold it above my head, because that should intimidate the Nubians a lot more than me just knocking out some.
Yeah.
I'm doing half attack, half performance art.
Yeah, picking up things is like that is people are going to give you space, and a civil guard with a baseball bat is going to swing it at you.
You know, I admire the courage. I really do. If you weren't a Nazi.
So his acting value is 2. There's got to probably be some doubles to actually do some damage to you. But I rolled a 16.
Yeah, they need to use anti-aircraft fire. They use missiles.
Oh yeah, so whatever, that bat just breaks off on you. It's one of those EE scums.
And literally say, I'm lifting a truck, dude. Really?
Reduce you scumbags assault. Human beings forever.
I'm looking for an ambulance that's relatively nearby. I'm assuming there's some because of the protest. And I want to, are the operators in it or in the front of the car? Or I want to land like beside the driver and say, I really need your help. Hang on. And I want to lift the ambulance to where over those people that were just shot, and I want to put the ambulance between the people and the gunfire. So I'm literally setting the truck down next to the people who need the medical assistance.
Okay. Their eyes are wide. And they're still like, the guy's clutching the steering wheel, the other guy's like, sitting like that. They're still a little frozen in their vehicle.
You ready to do your job?
Not knowing what to do right now. And so you tell them you're ready to do their job.
Yep.
And they they snap out of it and jump out and go try to administer aid to people suffering nearby who had a gunshot wound.
I'm catching this footage. This is the reason for the recording. This is what I want to be for a narrative later.
Now there's a police chopper up above. There's the heavy police presence from the south is what are they doing? They're moving up. And they're doing a walk down the street with their shields, and they are attempting to clear the street.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of civil guards behind them, like walking with them, going. Yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of people are trying to get off the street, and see, there's a few more Nubians now, and they're shooting at them at the police line. So that's bad. Is those things are bulletproof? Are they those clear shields? Or?
Yeah. So this gives them. So assuming that your cop has a body of 2, he's going to have a skin armor of either 3 or 4, depending on how large those shields are. So that's going to give him a resistance of either 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah. More bullet resistant than bulletproof.
Yeah. Deflecting things and. So there's a few shots going on. A couple cops are wounded. So there's now they're breaking out shotguns and automatic weapons. They're like going to sweep the street indiscriminately. You can tell.
No, they're not. They think they are. I'm sure they think this. There's a group of Nubians with handguns that are shooting at the cops. The cops are about to react hard. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Initiative.
A bunch of cheering civil guards behind them. Kill them all! Kill them all!
Is initiative time?
Yes. 15.
I get worse every time.
15.
I've made some of the worst rules in 25 years of game playing. I don't mind telling you. I have an initiative of total 20.
Okay.
18.
You guys, heroes get to go before cops and Nubians.
I want to. I'm looking for a semi truck. I don't know if that's a reasonable thing to ask for.
I have a van you can have.
I'll take an armored vehicle. I'll take any oversized car.
Tow truck unoccupied. The emergency brake has been released because it's slowly creeping down the street. Or the operator had it. It's running, but the operator fled.
I'm going to. This is kind of near the. This is not going to move quickly, because this is near my lift limit. I have a 6.5 ton or a semi truck lift limit, so this is only going to be moving at 5 miles an hour, right? Oh shit! I'm going to have to spend points. I'm going to spend 3 points to get that speed up to. It's going to be going faster, and I'm going to take the truck and I'm going to set it down physically in the police line of fire. So rather than them being able to sweep the crowd, they're all going to have a tow truck in the way.
Okay, Andy, you just see, Metal doing her thing and saw a tow truck just move through the air.
My big concern now is protecting the innocent type folk. And to that end, I have been making a spectacle of myself so people attack me. So I want to kind of continue that. You have the cops, right? Right, at least in the short term, you have those cops.
Yes, sir.
The Nubians have changed their targets from the civil guard because the civil guard is functionally routed by me. Is that more or less correct?
Yes, in your area of the street, yes. Yep. So in the kettle, you've done a good job against the civil guard. The cops are kettling the crowd.
I want to keep that up, and the Nubians are my next target because they're still shooting at people who don't need to be shot at. And they were warned not to do this. If they would have done like Metal asked, I wouldn't be running their asses down now.
Okay, so are you attacking the Nubians that we're going to fire on the police?
Unless there's a group of Nubians firing on the group Is there anybody shooting at the protesters? Actually, actively trying to shoot at the protesters, or are they just right now? They're just kind of in the
Not
way?
at this time.
Because that would change who I attack. Yeah, the
Yep.
Nubians are going to get people killed by crossfire at this stage.
Mhm.
So they are my next target.
Okay, there's 5 of them taking cover behind.
Curses! 5's a bad number.
It's going to be a Honda Ridgeline. Honda Ridgeline without a topper.
I will do my rhino trick on them. So I get. I'm less confident about this, but quite frankly, even if I miss, I still put myself where I want to be. Run them down with the same intent. I have a 12, which is probably about what I need. It's in the neighborhood at any rate. I need an 11, so I have an 8, which drops down to 1, 2, which drops down to the 1 because of the group attack. So basically, I hit them all, but I just kind of, it's the minimum. They get smacked around a bit. Nobody would drop from that.
They have to like jump back and expose themselves, and they lost their cover. So they run for cover. They go into the office block complex with a glass lobby right there. They go running into that lobby, getting off the street. Metal, are you visible?
As little as possible. I'm at street level in my boiler suit.
We have opposite techniques.
For me to be able to use my magnetic control at the power levels I need to, I can't be using it to fly.
Okay.
So I can do one or the other.
Okay. So you don't see who's doing it, but there's a stream of, what do they put in flamethrowers? Is it like napalm?
Yes.
So spraying the tow truck with that. It's coming from the police line. And the tow truck is getting engulfed in flames.
So I had a fire hydrant before going. I don't know if there's more of these around. I'm going to see if I can break a water main or a fire hydrant or whatever, essentially extinguish that. If someone's firebugging, I want them to show themselves and not be able to hide behind basically the incendiaries. As soon as they show themselves, this is someone who's going to get the full speed of it.
Yeah, stepping from the police line, because stepping from the police line is...
And he's with the police.
He stepped through them, then now he's walking in the street by himself. You know, there's no one there's no one near him. You know, he's holding up his thing, and he's looking for you.
That's okay. Are we at initiative?
Yes, let's do initiative.
Of 24.
24.
Yep.
16 plus 8 is 24.
My dex is a 6 for tiebreaker.
Okay, you win.
My dex is a 7.
Okay, so this guy has bought himself whatever burning harm he incurs. The flaming, partially extinguished tow truck, I'm going to hit him with all of the speed of the Wrath of God. I'm going to hit him with the truck.
Okay, he is going to burn hero points to dodge.
I'm going to burn hero points to hit him, so we're going to be acting an effect of 11.
That's a red pen. I don't want that. Opposing value of 7.
Double 4s. Double 2s. Ooh. I've just had an unlikely double, so that's 12 plus 5 is... Excuse me, double 4s is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 5 is 19. So my effect value is 11 on a hero point spend.
His opposing was 7.
His opposing was 7. I had a acting of 11. I rolled a 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns in my favor.
Okay.
So his responding is 8, you said?
Yes.
So starting with an 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He takes 4 points of damage from the flaming tow truck, by my math.
He goes skidding across back to the police line. and he looks you knocked him out. You smashed him, and he got some knockback.
Okay.
And the police pass him. They step around him. You can't see him now because he's in a crowd by a bunch of police.
He's on their side. I was hoping he was just an extra dickhead.
Nope.
Yeah, the police are continuing walking up the street. Looks like you have the civil guard and the Nubians running off the street, running away. The only thing that seems to be left right now is any screaming innocent bystanders that were still stuck in the street are running north.
And the guys who were being shot earlier, did the medics actually get all of that going on, the medic stuff?
Yes. There's actually in the north, from the north comes another ambulance onto the street.
I'm going to melt away into the with the crowd.
Bug, are you going to continue to engage? You know, at least the gangbangers are leaving the scene or finding their way out of there.
I'm going to hang out for at least a little bit longer because the police have shown a desire not to play nice. So I am going to hang out to make sure that the rioters aren't actively in danger. So probably another round of me just hopping around, making a nuisance of myself. I'm literally not going to throw a punch or hurt anybody, but I want to be an obvious target and make sure that the civilians aren't. But I'm going to be campering towards like a manhole cover I can jump into.
Okay, you have there's a bullhorn calling for you from the police coming down the street to on your knees, hands in the air, because of your bouncing. And hands empty. We need to see your identification. Are you registered?
When I get to the manhole cover, I will go whoop whoop, hands in the air, and then I'll jump down the manhole cover.
You're down underneath in a little bit of a sewer tunnel. There's a lot of bugs and stuff that are all now like crawling all over you. They're like it's like you just jumped into a bag of kittens and they're all rubbing up against you, except it's hundreds of roaches and slimy bugs and caterpillars.
It's a matter of perspective and taste.
Yep.
But then I will do some like super fast bug and I am out of here.
Okay.
I'm going to try and get, without using my powers, back up to the place where I set my camera, see if I can retrieve my camera, and then take it back to my loft.
You can.
Okay.
And it's the biggest news on the street, of course.
So, Jay, I'm a bit of a photo editor personally, and I know how little skill it requires. I want to do a little photo editing quickly.
Go right ahead.
I want to go through and I'm going to take a look at the video. I'm going to show Bug being a hero. I'm going to show the police acting without restraint and myself making sure my face is never visible. And I'm going to put a voiceover that says, know your metal, know what side you're on.
The news that's coming across right now is it's reported gang members were in amongst the crowd of protesters and fired upon the police, and a deadly firefight broke out, and the police have secured the scene.
I call Shamrock and say, like, Shamrock?
Yeah.
Did you want some footage of that riot? I was there and I saw a bunch of stuff. Is that the kind of thing that you like?
Absolutely. Where can I meet you?
Well, I said, well, I'm down there right now because, oh my God, I was trying to go check out. Well, it doesn't matter. I was just getting my hair done. And where are you?
I can come to you. I'm down at the scene.
Well, I'm on my way. Do you have your big truck with the painting thing on the side?
Yes. Yep.
So I switch to the other outfit and go out there with my new GoPro and bring her the film footage. Okay. I'm trying to get this freaked and out of my depth look on my face.
She hands it to her guy in the van. They got the side van open. They're reviewing it, and so this is great. It's a counter narrative to the police. So big news.
The guy in the boiler suit, did you see him? He told me he wanted the world to see this.
The boilers. So you got footage of yourself doing things?
Well, the GoPro I put on the building so I could watch the entire combat, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I saw it, but I'm making sure my face is never visible,
Okay.
right? And
Uh-huh.
the tow truck to stop the violence and all of this, and including the know your metals bit, is the guy in the boiler.
She's gonna put together that you and Bug were together when you were talking to her,
Yes,
and she goes, "Your friend appears to be an enhanced entity."
I know.
No, I wasn't. I was hiding on the roof
That's right. He
when
was
they
on
had
the
their
roof. He
meeting.
never saw us.
Every
Oh, you
time,
did. Okay.
every time they had a meeting, I was nearby in case she needed me, but I was never there for the conversation. I used my super hearing to eavesdrop, but I was on the roof.
I'd
Okay.
forgotten
It
that.
looks like we got two unidentified EEs interceding between gunfire on the crowd.
So, like the guy in the suit, he had this voice like James Earl Jones. Did you ever see The Lion King? He so sounded like the Lion King.
She's writing out a voucher,
Mhm.
and she says, "This is great footage. We're going to get working on this and editing it. And here's a voucher. You can stop if you want to go to the Channel 7 offices. You can get paid."
Oh, that's like awesome. This just messes up the club scene when they fight like this. You can't find a good raid for weeks after that.
This is great. You probably want to get out of here now. It looks like a lot of cops.
Oh, and my hair's a mess. It was just
And
a waste of a day. Hey, have a good day.
If you don't want to get caught, spending 3 hours of being questioned.
So I totally split. How much did she write me a voucher for?
$3,000 again.
Okay. So yeah, I go to the news station and see if they'll spit me out $3,000.
They won't write it out right there. They want an address to mail you a check.
Oh, like this is the loft. You should see it. I have a great view of the city.
So they take your information down. And Channel 7 is his press conference.
Mhm.
And there's Shamrock Bain, grilling them about the counter narrative of that the police more interested in the black protesters than the white militia that was firing in the street. And they're like, well, it just seems to be our concerned citizens protecting themselves. There's more to the scene than you can tell from the video. And yes, we'll be looking at the amount of force, but they did not have a permit. It's a whole shit show.
And we never saw Rico, correct?
No.
You saw? Yeah. Okay. So I know that.
Have you
was
seen
chaos.
Rico?
No, but when we were at the tow yard where I wrecked all the guns, they were talking about him.
Yes. Whoever he was, you don't know what he looks like or who he is. So if he was there, you don't know.
Okay.
I might have punched him out. We don't know. I punched out a lot. A lot of those guys. I might have run over Rico.
And the police will be going over street cameras, all that, they're trying to identify people who were shooting.
Okay.
They're looking for people to follow up, interview, and arrest.
I'm going to do Metal a really big favor and go home and shower before I meet up with her again.
So you're going over to the loft?
Once I clean up and put on clothes that are tattered by fire, bullets, and myself.
So you got to stop back at your tenement apartment.
And I hope you enjoy me getting the use of my hero name in there. Show your metal.
Show your metal, nice. Jim Green, he's the last person living in the tenement with you, because everyone else left because of the insect infection. And he's carrying a box of his stuff. Man, do you have a regular name you go by?
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan, okay. Ryan, man, it's too much. I don't even think it's healthy, man. I think you should leave. I'm out of here.
Oh, I will actually offer to help him take his stuff. I mean,
help him carry stuff out.
Right? No, I'm a good neighbor. I just attract bugs. I'm sorry to see you go, man, but you got to do what you got to do. You okay for money? I got a few extra bucks from a job I did earlier.
I'll take some money. Yeah, no, I'm I've been living here. I'm the last one to go. I've been hanging by my fingernails, but I just can't, it's crawling me on my face while I sleep. I can't handle it anymore.
I will give him like 20, 40 bucks out of the wad that I have from.
He's really happy to get it, of course.
No, yeah, we're the people living at the bottom of the. So
Yep.
if I've got the money to help him, I certainly want to.
Your hallway, it's got a bunch of spider webs that you usually have to brush aside to get through your door because they're all like hugging your door. Centipedes all over your kitchen counter.
Yeah, it's creepy in here for anybody who's not me. For me,
Yep.
it's just I gotta brush them aside to get workspace, but other than that, I don't care.
Yep. Brief encounter, and now you're at the loft. When you get to Metal's loft, before you knock on the door, you notice that there's a Monster Energy drink sitting in front of the door, unopened. One of those tall, sugar-free ones, ultra rosa.
I'll pick it up and look at it, and then I'll knock the. I mean, I'll have it in my hand when I knock on the door.
So I'm in a new boiler suit. So, point of reference, at my wealth level, I can spend $1,500 per campaign session without having to spend points or roll any dice.
He's got money, you don't.
Okay. Yeah, but we obviously haven't seen the money from the TV station yet, right?
No.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, come on in.
3 to 5 business days.
No, enjoy your energy drink. Listen, the TV station.
No, this is for you. I found it on your doorstep. Does this mean something?
It's a can of Ultra Rosa Monster Energy drink, the 16 ouncer.
That's not mine. I don't know.
Do I need to be careful with it? Is it going to blow up in my hand? I look at you like, how high should I be cranking up my powers?
So let's take that out on the balcony so we're outside and away from my stuff. And I want to examine it in some detail.
It looks like an ordinary can of Monster Energy drink.
It strikes me as a message, but I have no idea what it's trying to say.
So, Bug, not that I'm sure how your abilities work, but I do know you shrug off bullets. You want to open that while I'm over here?
I will rhinoceros beetle myself up and open the can.
Pop!
And I'll put my back towards the building, so if it blows up, it blows out into
crack.
I will smell it and then like dip my finger in to taste it, and like
it's an
seems
ordinary can of Monster Energy drink, Ultra Rosa Energy drink.
It's yours if you want it, but don't bring it back in, okay?
I'll actually sit down, do my cross-legged thing on his porch and just
ants going over your thighs.
So, Bug.
Yeah.
I want to give you some thoughts on what I saw, and I want to know what you saw. Did you see the film footage that I sent to the TV station? I'm not sure if you had a chance to.
I didn't.
No, you haven't. No. You don't have TV at your place. Your place doesn't have cable.
I play the edited footage that I sent to the TV station for Bug.
Okay.
Great,
is there anything in that video that you are intending him to review, or like is there something of the video that you want him to pay close attention to?
A couple odd things is the fact that I'm going to call him Firebug because we have to call him something. So the Firebug had at least the full complicity of the police. You and I both look good for saving innocent bystanders, and that looks to me like the police were stoking violence. The Nubians and the civil guard themselves had their own problems, but the civil guard looked like they had full police support to me.
Yeah. Did you have any footage of the sniper?
I don't know if I got any of that, did I?
I don't believe so. I don't think you were interested in your cameras. You were focusing all on the action on the street.
Yep. But I didn't accidentally catch anything of that, did I? Just looking for corners of films and all that.
Play it back a few times. You can find, because you know where the first shot hit a civil guard and perforated through his chest. High velocity round that alerted.
No, I thought the first shot was into a Nubian.
If you thought the sniper was shooting at the Nubians, that is my mistake, because the sniper did not shoot at any Nubian. It was the sniper until Metal interfered. I think about 3 or 4 civil guard.
So
long-range shots to the chest and head.
So to me, it looks like this was set up the powder keg was going to be there. There's no stopping that. But it looks like somebody wanted to throw matches into that powder keg, and that's what the sniper was for, is to set it off. Because there was a chance until that shot that
Yep.
we could have handled this without violence. I mean, it was a small chance, I concede, but there was a chance until that shot.
So I drove off the sniper. The sniper didn't even take a scratch. I think I managed to.
Did you ever make an attempt to look directly at the sniper's like shooting position? Like they went down between. I think you made creaking sounds or whatever. Did
Yep.
you ever go review that area?
No, which sounds like something we should go do. Didn't even think of that. I'm a terrible.
Yeah. No, it's a good play, but it's also a play we don't want to make until the cops are done.
Well, it's night now.
You know what? I think we can do this quietly. I didn't even think to go look there, and we should.
This honestly reeks of the. I don't want to throw the police completely into the bus, but somebody who was trying to get this confrontation to go this way. Probably much worse than it would have been. Without us there would have been certainly more dead people. There would have been more dead cops. There would have been more dead everybody.
So my question is, was it one side trying to incite violence or more than one side? Was the sniper with the firebug?
That's my question. Is the sniper working with the firebug?
So
I kind of want
It
to say
appears that the sniper's targets were only the civil guard. The sniper only targeted Caucasians.
But that being said, quite frankly, if I were being an insidious, anti-BLM guy, that's who I would shoot.
which is a thought, but we don't know, right? We don't
know. I kind of want to lump them together because they're bad guys and we're the good guys, and I want my universe to be as simple as I can keep it for as long as I can keep it that way.
I think that plays though, because if they only needed to shoot one of them, and just looking at this guy was head shooting. Excuse me, I think it was a lady, was head shooting the civil guard. So really, and I don't know if you knew this, women can be as deadly as men.
Maybe more so.
You can make your whole thing quick and quiet. That's not far. It is night. Let's go back and look at that scene.
Your loft is in the south of town. I mean, you got to go north, but
Well, we can both fly,
Yeah.
so I'm not super worried about travel.
okay. You guys are doing your superhero.
I will finish my energy drink. It's obviously a message. Metal, I have no idea what that message is.
I take a picture of the can, but make sure the can itself does not stay at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to trash it on our way out.
Yeah, I have a detective of 6, if we can, assuming we can make it to the rooftop.
You can make it to the rooftop.
And I do my assisty thing.
Yep. So I have a column shift in my favor.
There is, between the large and air handlers, is a hatch in the ceiling.
Okay.
There are 3 empty crushed cans of Ultra Rosa.
Ah.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
You can move in with me.
Shell casings?
Yes, there's shell casings.
I'm going to see if I can collect those up to the evidence style thing.
Well, you have a detective skill, right?
Yes, quite high, actually. Well,
Okay, so these look like homemade. The casings are for a homemade round. Like, it's not off the shelf casing.
Okay.
There's no Remington label on it or anything like that.
Hand casts, but some big size rifle thing, something like a. I mean, it's obviously heavy.
She had a long rifle with a scope on it and took a shot at you when you came at her.
To the best of my impression, these casings match that rifle. It wasn't from another action.
It's about the only conclusion you can draw.
And the building we're on is a nightclub? This building? I'm trying to remember what building this was.
Yeah, this was the nightclub, wasn't it? Yeah, she was firing from the nightclub.
So I say, Bug, and I've got to go do my undercover thing. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay.
I flip off the boiler suit, change the shoes, open the hatch, and go down inside the club.
Before he goes, I will do my sit cross-legged thing. I will produce an insect to give to you to give me warnings or whatever you need to do, and then I will crank up my senses the best I can, which I'll probably have to turn off immediately if this club is actually working. It'll like bam into my head. So I'm like, no, I just sit here quietly.
Oh yeah, the nightclub would be hopping right now.
Right after a protest? I mean, they're cool, but
No, you're right. I
It
guess they wouldn't
depends
have
on how-
access to it. No nightclub would be opening on that street right now, right?
Right. I would think.
It depends on how fast this town turns around. I mean, if you have a lot of disasters like Marvel, New York, I bet you this isn't a blip on their day. They're like,
So
I think this is a big deal for the police. So they're going to secure the place probably till the morning as they collect evidence. And
I'm looking for security cameras or anybody who might be inside the club.
it's not like the club. There's the storage. I don't know. What do clubs? Yeah, upstairs offices for the club, closets. There are cameras.
Yep. I'm looking for film footage.
And I guess one of the security guards would catch you on that floor, ask you if they can help you. What's going on?
Okay. Oh, hey.
Doesn't look like the show's happening tonight, sweetheart.
So no, cool. I might have fell asleep yesterday.
Oh, do you need me to show you out? I can escort you down to the street.
So I'm going to try and get this guy. I'm going to use my attractive advantage in all this, and I want to get this guy to talk about what happened in the club during the riot. Right? I'm going to see if I can get him talking about what happened in here and whether or not we have any data about the sniper. And maybe if you can get me to show me his cool security stuff, because that would be awesome.
Okay, let's make him a bouncer. And he came in early for work and got stuck there because of the shooting.
Yep.
And due to his ethnicity, he was like, I ain't going out there. I ain't
Oh
going
my
out
God.
there in the morning till that whole thing's cleaned out. Let's take one step out of there. They either shoot me or arrest me. I am not the right color to go leaving this building tonight.
Well, I'm like cinnamon brown, so like I'm not good in one place and not good in the other place. So I don't like to be any. Well, do you have like your own security people here, or like does the city take care of that? Because they really like clubs.
No, like me and a few other guys are like the security.
Okay, I let him escort me out, but as soon as I get out, I'm going to tell whatever wasp that Bug has. And I said, "Can you get your homies to go in there? There's cameras. There's a security office. I got caught. See if you can go in there and I don't know, get a beetle to remove the tapes or the footage."
That's a stretch.
I love the respect you're showing my powers, but
No way.
So if he can. So 2 questions. Are we talking about physical media, or is this all just recorded somewhere?
Would have been recorded. They had cameras.
Okay. So can Bugs Recon find the security office for me?
Yes,
that
that's
I can
easy
do.
enough. It is on the second floor.
Okay. So I'm going to allow them to escort me out, make my way back up to the roof, switch the outfits again, and say, okay, we now know where it is. Let's give these guys a chance to get into the deepest part of the night, so everyone's, the sleepiest and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to see if we can break into the security office, and I want to go after the idiots.